Welcome back in, everyone. It is game number 5 of pools that we will be bringing to you over on the Double Duel broadcast. Double Duel brought to you by Gamers Arena. And this one, it's a little bit of a change up from what we expected exactly from our stream setup, but we had to adjust because of the implication. Goats and Glory taking on Sussy Players V3. Winner of this, mathematically, qualifies to day 2. So both these teams playing for their lives. And it's sure to be a good one.
It's a guarantee whoever wins this, despite the fact that Sussy Players are 2-2 and Goats and Glory are 1-3. After the match win rate, it goes to head-to-head, right? So Goats and Glory, if they're 2-3, Sussy Players, they're 2-3. If Goats and Glory win this one, they will have the head-to-head advantage over Sussy Players, so they will make the top 4. However, as I'm sure you noticed, Sussy Players 2-2, meaning they beat Ohio Northern, meaning there is actually a lot to consider with this match in the fact that Sussy Players are now a team that have to be concerned. You have to be concerned about Goats and Glory. Remember, Goats and Glory came into this very confident in the second half. They thought that they would be able to easily handle, not quite easily handle, but they thought they'd be able to handle Manchester before this. Manchester pretty handily beat them. Now, they thought that Sussy Players were going to be on that same level. It's a fear now if they can win this.
Yeah, the exact wording coming in with that interview from Quill, if I'm not mistaken, was, I believe that those 2 matches, if we lose, have to go to OT. And we saw from that match that we already got between Manchester and Goats and Glory, a 13-5 for Manchester. Pretty confident in that winning condition, and we saw a lot of that come through with Manchester's really good adaptation coming off of timeouts and also very good pistol play. Sussy Players, a team that lacks the coach, obviously being that mixed team, so they lack that extra little bit of help that could happen on the outside. And we'll be seeing Bind, another unique map for the stream, for our final game, our first unique map of the day. I'm very interested to see how this one's going to play out.
Yeah, we've seen 3 maps across 5 series, and Bind, like you said, first time we're seeing it. I'm excited to see it. This is a map that I have a lot of experience. I think this might be my most casted map in Valorant, believe it or not. But one thing I will say that's interesting here, if Sussy Players beat Goats and Glory, and that if Manchester loses to OSU Scarlet, and Ohio Northern beat Ohio Wesleyan, which that sounds like a lot of ifs, but I'd give each of those about a 75% chance of happening.
It's not unlikely. How about that?
Yeah, I think it's pretty likely that all 3 of those things happen. If that does happen, we're going to be in a position where top 4 is 1 4-0 team and 3 3-2 teams. So that is something to consider. Earlier, I was setting up the narrative that the top 3 teams were going to be ONU, Manchester, and OSU. Now it looks like it could be a situation where it's the top 1 team and then the rest.
Yeah, and looking at these comps, I mean, I'll talk about Sussy because they're all locked in before now we can address both of them. Goats and Glory have changed their identity completely. This is a shakeup to be sure. Triple duelist on Bind. Triple duelist.
What?
Yeah. Ace opting to go away from the chamber, going to the jet. Quill on the Rays. CRN on the Neon. Seawolf retaining the Brim. Breakaway opting for the Sky. This is a new look that we have not seen from this team. And on the side of Sussy, relatively standard, I'd say. Maybe a little unorthodox specifically for Bind. Bind is one of those maps where I feel like we see a lot of Viper play, specifically because of the amount of pressure that can be applied from that wall. Specifically, you have the, I'd argue, almost infamous hookah through the telly wall that can provide so much control for so little being invested. But other than that, relatively standard. I'm excited for this. This one is wild.
No, girl. I know that I said earlier that I've not been paying the most attention to Valorant, but there's no way in like the 6 months that I have been MIA on Valorant that all of a sudden triple duelist is something real to be considered. This has to be something that nobody is expecting to see. This has to be something, for lack of a better term, quite kooky.
Yeah, something they could. Holy, already KDS with the double kill coming off of the tether from Blackheart. Little Dirk finds 2 of them. Last man alive is gonna be Quill. he has got a hell of a lot of work on his hands. A 1v5 required if Goats and Glory want to start this off on the right foot. And I will tell you, depending on how you consider Chamber, technically triple dually is in meta, but I will tell you right now, of the duelists that Goats and Glory are running, only one of those is the one that has really been inside the meta. Bind, obviously, its own little ecosystem, so things can change. Maverick gets the spot and the finish. Flawless. Map number 1. You can already see from Sussy, Spirits High looking to solidify their placement in day number 2.
Yeah, the Orgla's Coalescent quality, it seems, that's a good look to start things off with. We do see that Outlaw here for Lil Durk, right? Lil Durk had that great play, and we did see, like in that last series we saw with Sussy players, the C's paired with the paint shells is a very common combo these guys go for in the early game. If Ghosts and Glory aren't able to adapt to this one like they were in the past, it's going to be scary.
To be fair, that was definitely a reactive type thing. You see that there's a lot of people there, and you're like, oh, man, I can throw a C and a nade and maybe get some stuff off of that. Ghosts and Glory were very good at adapting to that lackluster play, but honestly, after that, I'm starting to buy more into the narrative that you're selling, where they're using C's and Tether together. So, Ghosts and Glory able to stay out of that range. You know, might be able to do something.
Great little bait there into Lil Durk's sightlines there from Maverick, and Maverick picks up the last 2 necessary to make this one comfortable. There will be 1 for Ghosts and Glory, but a spike is miles away. And that 2 has dropped to 1.
Yeah, Ace, last one up for the side of Goats, will get taken down by Blackheart. So far, Sussy, they take the pistol, they get the cleanup, looking to continue forward.
It's a good start here. Like, that bonus was very clean. And look at this, actually. This is the first time where this is a worthwhile thing to mention. Goats and Glory lost the first 2 rounds. They haven't gotten a plant. They've gotten 1 kill, and it shows. Their econ is terrible right now. I hate to say it like that, but they have, yes, they have 3 people with rifles and heavy shields, but they also have I think that was a Bucky and a Spectre.
It was definitely a Spectre. It might have been a Judge instead of a Bucky, but either way, it's a shotgun. And, I mean, you've got a triple duelist. You can play kind of divey, but KDS up close with 3 on the Judge stabilizes the fight. They know about Quill in you. It is the Bucky. Egon are able to finish it. Last man up is Breakaway. He's got one of those rifles. Unfortunately, he's got 4 in front of him that he would need to take down. And Sussy, they've got the bomb. They've got no reason to move, and they are doing exactly that.
And this is just going to be a save. This is what you should expect here from Breakaway. I think that we're going to see very shortly. Breakaway is going to break away from this location and just save this rifle, right? Because you don't want to give away another rifle over to the side of Sussy players. The Vandal's now in hand for KDS, and I think that they got 1, maybe 2 players rifleless now. Although, look at this. Breakaway might be playing for it.
Yeah, it's a dangerous position. We'll get the first round to E-Gunner. Sees KDS, but, well, at least might expect KDS moves on. 30 seconds remaining. Knows about the players in short. Could be trying for a wrap here, but with only 20 left, there's not really going to be time for this. Especially
it's got to be
with
a
how
triple
slow
if
he's
anything.
playing. Yeah, and the players,
Like
they just aren't close enough to get it.
You got to kill if anything here. That's going to be 1, but you got to be satisfied with that. You're going to get that 1. You're going to leave. You're going to save now. You tore away 2 rifles. That's enough. It's not great, but for a situation like that, that's the most you can realistically hope. That's not even the most you can hope for. That's more than you could hope for. That's still a great performance by Breakaways. The timeout comes in very early here.
Yeah, this is an incredibly early pop of the timeout from Goats and Glory. I can understand it. I mean, from what just happened in those first 3 rounds, you've gotten, what, a cumulative 3 kills across 3 rounds, if I'm not mistaken? Like, you need to reset yourself and stabilize. Because, like, right now, you are, for all intents and purposes, obviously we haven't made it deep enough that this may be a little bit of an overreactive, instantaneous call, but you are bleeding out, and you need something to stabilize and reset with how you're going to play going forward.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have Manchester here, so we don't have that freebie to talk about when it comes to pauses. But still, I mean, we did see Goats and Glory play pretty well with the pause earlier, and there is no coach. Like, I'm pretty sure we've talked about this. No coach for the side of Sussy players. I don't know if you can hear that, but I got a dog knocking on my door.
He's trying to get in.
She wants in. She wants to say hello.
In.
Oh, I'm gonna let the beast in. Let the devil out.
I'm interested to see how Sussy are going to react to this timeout, because the only other game we saw was against that Ohio State Scarlet team who, again, if I'm not mistaken, said they were playing with their coach. So you don't really need to take those timeouts. You have the player that, or you have the piece that, calls those things in the lineup already. So for the side of Sussy, that adaptation, I'm really curious to see what exactly it's all going to accumulate to. And very aggressive here. KDS unable to find it. Ace finds it.
That's a nice kill early on. Remember, there's not very many rifles here for Goats and Glory. Lil Durk gonna find breakaway there, but Ace has been performing excellently so far. This round, this is necessary. That pause seems to be doing pretty damn well.
Yeah, able to stick one with the grav net, but in that time, Seawolf gets that bomb down, and he is trying to get out. Quill on the first line will get taken down by Blackheart. Blackheart gets Seawolf incredibly low. And I was going to say, all these players in danger of getting one-tapped by the Outlaw. It will be brought down now. Maverick, he expects the second, doesn't get the connection. 2 players left, very isolated though, so Maverick, he could do this. Won't be able to. CRN gets the finish. And that's
just running low on time there at the end there as well.
Yeah, trying to play it with enough pace that he can still, get that full defuse in, and sometimes that's just the issue with these maps. You need to get it through, and just not enough time to do everything on the board. But even after that round win, looking at the econ of Goats and Glory, a very unusual position to have them in. Not able to get the full buy on. Gonna have to have a regen on one, a light on the other. So clearly, these tight rounds proving to be a difficult thing for Goats to overcome.
Everybody's getting really close to their ultimates as well, Emily, I have to say. Except for Lil Durk, obviously just popped the ulti there on the deadlock. But everybody else getting pretty damn close. Maverick here 2 away, and on the other side of things, Goats and Glory 1 away on their Seekers.
Yeah, everybody's getting to that pivotal point. We're starting to see that alt economy play a role in this.
Cut off from
able
escape.
to stay alive, though.
Yeah. The Splant will still go down, but look at this. There's going to be no healing for the team based on the position of the sky. You're going to have to be concerned about that.
Seawolf trying to get some little spam damage in. Hookah full. KDS. Ooh, out. Blackheart able to get the trade. KDS will get it onto Ace. A 2v2 remaining. That's going to be Seawolf, though. Potentially with that lineup, it will go through, and it's instantly going to burn down KDS. All that's left is Maverick. They get the ult invested, too. I mean, it's a round, but I think that's a little over-ambitious.
I mean, it's what we're talking about earlier, right? When we talked about it with the Goats and Glory player, I think it was Quill we talked about earlier. Yeah. When you have the opportunity with the Brimstone, right? He's so good at just delaying things. Delaying what seems like the inevitable and making it actually the inevitable. Making things happen. Making things not happen in reality. And now Sussy players, they've been put on the back foot. Lil Durk has 1,700 credits to play around with. Not enough to get a real buy. 900 credits after the Sheriff. It looks dire.
Yeah, this could be a very, very big swing round if Goats are able to equalize Sussy. They'll be able to get back up to that full buy next, but it is going to be very tight. It's not going to be as clean as you like it. Ace able to get the first. Very nice snap on the Lil Durk. KDS, though, still in you with that Bucky. I think is going to take the face into Quill. Will get the first. Insta pops the ult. Able to find the second. Movement forward from Ace. He gets taken down by Blackheart. Seawolf able to find 2. And so what could have been a very sticky situation. equalizes itself. E-Gunner, though.
Doesn't have the time to grab a rifle. Still playing this out with the Bucky. Playing to get one and then hope that you can get the second.
Yeah, if they're isolated enough, he might be able to make something happen, and it's what they're setting up for. Unfortunately, yeah, Classic in the back pocket, Bucky in the main. And with only one shot in the Classic, you can't afford to reload at this point. You're too close. You have to go into it with the Bucky.
He's going to hunt down.
Yeah, he's probably going to be able to find Seawolf here, unless Seawolf turns around at the last moment. Cognizant of the angle, but E-Gunner's going to get it.
There's not much time left, though, here, Emily.
No, there really isn't.
What that Molly's trying to do there.
I mean,
Taps it.
Yeah,
Taps it.
CRN with close. I mean, maybe if they were coming from the mid site, coming from more of that CT, expecting both to try to flip it, could have cut off, could have made the route a little bit strange, but CRN just sitting hookah, he'll be able to take that, and that's an equalized stat line, equalized score line from both of these teams.
The money's not that close either. Ghosts and Glory, if they lose this round, they will struggle to get a full buy going along. Seawolf, CRN, and Quill will probably be able to get one, as well as Ace, but Breakaway will struggle to be behind. On the other side of things, Sussy players, they are still in fairly dire straits. They're able to get a solid, strong, full buy on this one, but it doesn't look pretty, right? The economy, I mean, what can you really expect at losing 3 in a row, but it does look a little rough.
Yeah, it's not the sights that you want to see. CRN and Seawolf, although able to combine.
What did Sussy players use the ult on?
I could not tell you. I would assume trying to ISO a fight, but just not finding the impact that they want. And now there's so much sightline being cut off. E-Gunner is in this corner, waiting for the tap. It won't come through. Able to get the molly down.
Smoke's down.
Last smoke invested here for E-Gunner. Look at this. The whole site is just sprayed with smoke, as that's going to be the plant taken away. It'll just buy a little bit more time at this point for Sussy players, and they still can't find a solid plant opportunity. 33 HP for E-Gunner, and still firing.
Yeah, but Ace with this flank, I don't think E-Gunner's going to be cognizant of it. He's going to be able to get some heals, but he's not going to be able to get any more. Maverick gets taken down. Little Dirk, last man up with this Vandal. I mean, he might try for this, but I don't think this is the real play you want. I think you want to stay up. Maybe just play for those exits, but especially with this positioning from Ace, there's no way that you expect this. Never mind, able to find the first.
You could argue that this is like a save the rifle situation, right? And it does look like Lil Durk's going to go for that.
I really think it is.
Yeah, like there's not really much else you could argue for. The triple duelist is starting to pay off a little bit more here for Ghosts and Glory, but I'm kind of in the mindset that it hasn't had much of an impact compared to just the Brimstone.
Yeah, it's definitely been like just the impact that we've seen from Seawolf. The triple duelist obviously allows you to initiate, and we saw Ace get some good picks with the knives here and there, but it's one of those things where potentially on that defense, I think, is where things might get a little bit more dire.
Right, I do think that I would call this map fairly a defending favorite in my personal opinion. At the very least, like with these compositions, with the duelists, right, triple duelists, you're going to have that natural advantage when you're on the offense. On the defense, how the hell are you ever going to hold a site here?
Yeah, you don't have a lot of stall. You kind of have to rely on the minimal that every agent has, which really isn't made for holding people back. And you got to rely on just your raw aim, which, to be fair, some of the duelists firing. Definitely seen Ace put in big work. Quill and CRN having their moments as well.
Just slowing things down with that smoke. Ghosts and Glory, they're going to flash. They know that there's somebody waiting on the other side for them now. And Sussy players, they're playing with 2 players towards A, as there is going to be some poking and prodding towards that site to see if there's anything worth considering, with all 4 players here hovering right around the TP.
Yeah, there's a lot of decisions that they could make. CRN being the one who is isolated. They could opt for the fast TP into A play, but Sussy, they they're aware of that potential and they're ready for it. 3 players over on this A side, and it is going to be the TP play. Neon pops it, trying to go through, will get stalled out. CRN, he finds that first pick onto Blackheart, and that's the go button, but KDS with a shutdown, able to stay up. Ace looking for the hunt, he gets shut down too. Sussy players up in numbers, still worse for wear as far as guns go. And KDS, he'll find the 3rd, Egunner with the 4th. And KDS with 4 on his own.
No. That was just everybody got kills with Buckies that round on the side of Sussy players. I'm sorry I interrupted you the way that I did, but I cannot stand with that. That is unreasonable.
Nah, you chillin', but KDS, he knows what he did. Pop off to the camera. Man is here to play and here to keep his team in the running.
And it evens out the scoreline as well. I hadn't even quite realized up to that point that, you know, Ghosts and Glory, they won 4 in a row. For some reason, I thought we were 1 round back, right? 4 to 4 now here. 4 more rounds in the half. And Sussy players, they have set themselves up for some momentum as another full buy. I think this is the most full buys I've seen from a Ghosts and Glory match on both sides.
I was going to say, like, Ghosts and Glory, they've had their money up, but for the side of Sussy, same thing to be said. Flash finds multi on that long Maverick, looking to play this ISO'd angle with the grab net. He could find multiple. The spam onto Quill, it's not gonna hit. Has to back up. It's the worst possible outcome there for Sussy. And that's just gonna be an open B site. He's able to get up onto this position, looking for something. ADS. Now starting to
Plant will go down.
Spike planted.
There's some smokes at the ready if they need a KDS. Look at this. Going to go around, wrap around this angle. I don't know if they're expecting this.
I feel like you have to, at a certain point, expect the move out. Ace. Well, he's going to drop Egunner, revealing the movement, revealing the positions. KDS and Blackheart both finding their own. CRN
Look at
is going to fight
a zone
this. Yeah, big bombardment. And the Molly comes in.
Molly.
Both these players low health.
They can't commit to it. This is done.
Yeah, that's just no time. I mean, that's exactly what we were talking about with Goats and Glory before. When you have a player like Seawolf on your team with the mollies and the ult, able to keep things rolling. And I question the investment of the ult early in the game, but we see it getting ripped once again. Just securing, and Seawolf already on his way to a 3rd in this half.
Despicable. And there should be time as well. 6 points, right? And 3 rounds. I mean, yeah, 3 rounds. Granted, if he loses, like, if he gets 1 kill, 1 death each round, he's not going to have it. But a single ult orb, a single plant, single anything, pretty much, can get him that ultimate beyond that.
It's doable. It's hard, but it's definitely doable. And there's the first pick necessary.
The first step of the way. 5 more points to get that next orbital strike.
The spot onto Quill. Egunner able to find it.
Able to dodge most of the worst effects of that flash, and the heal up on Seawolf. They really want to get the ult points. They know how important this is.
Yeah, they know how much value that can bring. Getting another ult online. Egunner gonna drop. The response Nightfall. It finds 2. They know of that full 3. Yeah. So much of that heal invested into Seawolf, looking to keep him up. CRN.
He still holds on to the spike, by the way.
Yeah. This could be a regroup and a rehit into A. Slowly moving down short. Blackheart ready if they opt to go into U-Haul, making himself known, but now knowledge of the other players is gained.
This way. Here we go.
Ulti available as well. CRN's going to pop it. Overdrive sent in. There's the haunt. And it'll find breakaway. That's now the lead reclaimed by Sussy players as the plant goes down. That's the second point that you're looking for here. But there's the third. Seawolf has gotten what's needed, really. 1v2 now. Blackheart has a chance to win this round. And there it will be as Sussy players claim the next one.
Yeah, I was fearing for Blackheart there. I saw Lil Durk on the flank, so he would have been able to get the cleanup, but Blackheart getting hunted down. Definitely didn't want to die when Little Dirk was too far away. But yeah, like you were talking about, and like we've been counting up this entire time, Seawolf, 5 out of 8. He keeps that pace up. He's going to have his ult come final round of the half. But for the side of Goats, you're put into a weird position. Not really enough money to full buy. So you have to save and play for last. But for the side of Sussy, similar position. Maverick, only 2,900, 2,950, pardon my math. But he's not going to be able to get all that he wants.
Only ult in the field. I did get distracted by my dog, and I apologize if you can still hear her. But only ult on the field is this showstopper here for Sussy. It's been good for them so far. A little bit hit or miss, but 50-50, I think. They ain't a bad rate at Seawolf. Has lined up the crosshair for Little Dirk. But Little Dirk swings up for it, and CRN is able to find the kill.
He tries to get too aggressive with the judge, and I like the idea sometimes, but unfortunately it doesn't come across. And now the side of Goats, they have control. They're up in numbers. They can really do whatever they please. And I mean, this site, you've got E-Gunner who's got the full rifle, but a single smoke and a molly in the back pocket. Will like to use it on that hookah. Allows him to start to move out. Doesn't take the angle onto Octagon, but still gonna stay up.
Smokes. That was the last one used there, and it's a nice kill from E-Gunner to CRN. They think that the spike is moving, but they're mistaken as the Seekers come out. Blackheart able to find the kill there, but they're still on B, and nobody is there. It's left completely defenseless.
Yeah, Quill able to get a pick, and that really sells this fake because he's still fighting for it. And now for the side of Sussy, that plant's going to come in, the pin's going to drop, and they're going to be like, oh, you got to be, like, kidding me, dude. 2 players rotating. Seawolf so low, but with the stinger, he could find something. Maverick. Ooh, ace. Yeah, playing on that line, able to find 2. KDS, a 1v3 required if he wants to keep his team really in this. Knows about Ace. Doesn't quite know about Quill, but will know about Seawolf now. Able to find the pick onto Quill. And finds it onto Seawolf.
Last one in this 1v1. Is it going to be able to be halved here by KDS? Yes. Is there anything else? 33 HP. A body shot will be enough. Goes in for the classic. It might just be done, but no, the 3 kills in the round is enough for Ace, and a breath of relief there for Goats and Glory.
Yeah, unable to save any of those rifles through, so, you know, the econ, the save is really going to be where it matters. And we talk about econ mattering. Goats and Glory, they got everything at their disposal. All the money that you could ask for, buying up whatever armaments they need. The side of Sussy, fortunately, it's not looking quite as great. 3 ults on the board. Definitely more to play with.
So here's my thought, Emily. They're 1 point away from this orbital strike. If Seawolf gets this plant, if Goats and Glory get this plant, and Seawolf gets a point along the way, they win the round, right?
In theory, yeah. Well, there's the point. Well, there's the point. I thought he was going to get caught. I thought the response was going to be there.
Doesn't get hit with the Annihilation. Now look at this. 3 players walking up B long.
When they hear the 2 TPs, that's going to be the insta call to just TP back. Take it 4, 1 at a time. Let them know what you're doing. It doesn't matter. You have full A sight. Quill so deep into it.
Spike planted.
That is going to be a kill into Seawolf. So the orbital strike is not going to be in the back.
That was what they needed there, I think, Emily. The orbital strike, it's what's been saving them. That along with the mollies, Ace will find one. It's a 3v4, but I still think I might favor Sussy players here. Look at how much space they have on site. This retake looks good, but E-Gunner might have just thrown it away.
Yeah, the issue with that is just you want to be preemptive in making a play, but you don't want to be too preemptive in giving your life away. Blackheart with the tap will find Quill. Ace will find the response onto Maverick, and now Blackheart with it all to do. 3 players. Ace gets onto the angle. You talk about this map being defender-sided. It's time to see if that truly holds up.
Not just the map, but the comps, right? Do you think 7 is enough of a buffer?
I'm unsure. I mean, your pieces are firing. That's what I can say. You know, Ace shooting, Seawolf pulling his weight. Unfortunately, one of your duelists, Quill, 3 and 11. On that offensive side, though, a little bit more expected from the hard dive. CRN holding steady at that 8 and 8. Very far cry from the side of Sussy players. KDS 17 and 7, putting on a masterclass with the Rays, looking to hopefully keep things moving. And I think we're going to see exactly that with this aggressive shorty buy.
And they're all not just the aggressive shorty buy, but also this aggressive positioning. Like, it looked like they could just walk down A for a second there, and it looks like they still will as KDS takes advantage of that aggressive shorty, finds the first opening kill, and Maverick as well avenges the death of Lil Durk.
Yeah, and now they've got most of that A positioning. Ace, only man left on this side with the ghost from Showers. It's going to be a question of what can he do from this position, and you've got E-Gunner on that flank. Fight's going to happen. E-Gunner able to take it. Now Seawolf and KDS, both the shorty users, going to be in the challenge. KDS able to find it. Last man alive is Breakaway.
Peek out, and it's just an opportune. Blackheart finishes it off. They'll get the plant for that little extra dough.
Yeah, able to get a little bit more in, start to build their economy. And like we talked about, Goats and Glory, they've been one of the players, or one of the teams that have really, you know, been good with their money. Now, I think when things are getting desperate, you're seeing a little bit of that breaking of standard. Ace opting to go for the, well, actually, most of these players opting to go for buys. Ace with the Sheriff, and Quill with that Bucky light armor.
Bring them down.
For those players on Ace side, if Sussy end up committing here, it could be dangerous.
I mean, this is so fast here, but you kind of expect that in this type of situation. 2 quick kills, the Judge and the Phantom make it work. Quill, though, the Classic is enough to get that one back.
Yeah, and he still has that Bucky. I believe there's a Judge down in Brown Box. The issue is just making the movements up to it. And Seawolf, he's in a position that could be very dangerous for the side of Sussy if they end up rotating. But realistically, in a 4v3, you can go wherever you like. You have the numbers, and you can play just that simple trade-out game. And with that visual, you know that Quill, he's going to be over towards this U-Haul position.
The smoke is a wall that they have to break through, and they're scared too, I feel. The Sussy players, they're all coagulated here.
Yeah. I feel like the wall, or the smoke, is going to give them a false sense of security. Lil Durk going to be able to find that. The smoke from E-Gunner comes out, and the finished last one up is Seawolf. And he's not going to be able to pick anything up. The snap from Lil Durk. It's another round on the board. And now Sussy, a 2-round buffer that you had if you were Goats, it's gone. And these players, yeah.
Part of that kind of comes with the fact that they won the pistol, though, right? For Sussy players, Goats and Glory, that forced buy there, like, they should have been okay with giving away a pistol. They really should have, or at least the bonus. They should have been okay with giving away the bonus, because after they didn't, after they weren't okay with that, their economy is rough. They have to go for a Judge. They have to go for a Guardian. I feel like I keep saying those words, but you want the advantage. You want as much of an advantage as you can get. One extra rifle makes a difference against the comp with the weapons that Sussy players have.
Yeah, KDS still trying to be the aggressor. I would have liked to see a little bit more util committed in to follow him. Unfortunately, unable to really do that. And now Maverick and E-Gunner starting to posture towards this B site. This may be the ending position for the side of Sussy players. Have Breakaway and Seawolf here. Seawolf with the perfect gun for this position if he doesn't get checked. That flash wrap
smoke.
Yeah. He's going to have vision if they jump up on this angle, and he should realistically get it first. This could be a slam from Sussy. Could be the move that they're looking for. Seawolf able to find the first, but Lil Durk with a big combination of 2, and Blackheart on the other side of the map able to get a pick down. Bomb is over at A. But so is Ace, able to find the first.
It's a 1v1 on site here.
Yeah.
But they're just going to rotate. Doesn't take the teleport, so they don't know. But the rotate is coming in for both sides. Both the players on A are moving over towards B.
Yeah, they're aware of this positioning. Ace now going to be the one who needs to do it, but he's going to second guess it. Doesn't move out just quite. Yeah, he's going to be able to hear that bomb down. You have the Annihilation in play as well.
Yeah, this is an unlosable round, I think, for Sussy players. I don't know how things have gotten to this position.
It should be. But it is Ace, and we've seen him pull some stuff off before. Might be able to work it again, but with the sonic sensor on the bomb, it's going to be so hard to work around that. Especially now.
My territory.
Sky with that flashback up, the Annihilation catches. It's just a little bit of trickery coming in from the plant position.
Shoves Ace into the corner.
And that's all she wrote. Sussy, take the lead now. It'll string that round together. And
coming to this next round, like they should have not just the point advantage, but also look at the finances. 5,000 on 2 of the players for Sussy players. Like that's a weird sentence to say, but two players halfway to max, pretty much. They're going to be able to come into this with the ability to lose a round of maybe 2, depending on how they play it, and still feel comfortable, still feel fine. Meanwhile, Goats and Glory, it'll be a miracle if they get to that point.
Yeah, it's a long road ahead, and Goats, they need to figure out how they want to walk it. Seawolf trying to posture out, but E-Gunner on this position. Little Dirk already picking one off onto Ace. Trying to posture forwards on that. Shower's extremity. Yeah, and Seawolf going to get taken down as well. The Stinger at that position. Trying to make sure that nobody's playing these close corners. They don't want to get caught off by any of these very gimmicky weapons.
And the way...
yeah.
The way that Sussy players are kind of playing this, it's... I think that if Goats and Glory played for a hard rush on one of the sites, they give up the plant, they might be able to get 1 or 2 kills. That kind of counters, I feel, the way that Sussy players are playing this potentially. But at the end of the day, Sussy players, they have the read onto what Goats and Glory want to do, trickle players in to try to get some cheeky kills, rather than play as a team to swarm over, and they're able to capitalize in that way.
Yeah, they're able to play this. They're playing this incredibly smart. They're playing to the strengths of this composition, and they're playing into the weaknesses of this composition from the side of Goats and Glory. Again, your only initiator is breakaway. You are so starved for information, and I really think that's showing. We saw multiple of these players just slow pushing up extremities, trying to find information, picks, whatever you call it, just going for it and not finding any real success with it. Sussy players, they've been able to really read the situation, suss out what's going on, and make their moves.
I don't even know if anybody took damage last round, by the way, for Sussy players. That's how one-sided was. Granted, they had a full buy. Goats and Glory had pittance, so it should be expected, but still, I just feel like it's important to mention just how one-sided that was, and Seawolf over-expects his own abilities, but Little Dirk is traded back by CRN.
And CRN able to skip the C's, able to make it into the site, able to find a nice 2. KDS able to shut that down, though. Sussy still down in numbers, but trying to... Yeah, trying to see if they can get any sort of movement from these players of Goats.
They're playing it so steady. That's the kill. KDS doesn't know that Ace is still right there. It's now a 1v1 Blackheart. It's on the left. He doesn't know.
It's no longer on the left. Breakaway is going to have the flash up in just about 3. And he reads the positioning. Able to, I don't want to say equalize because I'm not exactly sure, but start to bring Goats back into this position. Yeah, only down by 1 now. But, I mean, when you look at that economy, that's the issue. We were talking about it in the teams who played Goats. They may be losing rounds, but they're doing so much damage and forcing you to play weird. And now Goats, unfortunately, they won the round, but now they're forced onto doing something weird.
Yeah, and Emily, we were seeing it for a second here. KDS is going to switch off of it, But I would have actually really liked to see a judge there. I don't think it would have been amazing, but I think picking a GOAT or the judge when you want to is so much different than doing it when you have to. It shows so much more confidence, and I think it's a good sign for a team to want the judge in a lot of these situations.
It also shows a real good idea and a real good set on how you want to play the round out. You know what you're trying to achieve, and you know that the judge is going to be the best for that. E-Gunner gets the pick onto Ace. All that's left is Breakaway on the other side of the map. He's going to be saving this rifle, but that's going to allow Sussy to get up to 10. Things could be getting very dangerous here for GOATs.
Breakaway does not have an opportunity to play for a clutch here. Like, there's no chance. Just has to get into spawn or maybe just a helpful corner. We'll hear some TPs if they go on. We'll have that knowledge, but I mean, they're just hunting for this kill. They want this last one.
Yeah, there's no reason for him to play for the clutch either. I mean, it's a 1v5. It's so unlikely, and with where the finances of your team is at, no reason for you to give the chance of that rifle going into the wrong hands. But now, Sussy, they've cracked double digits with an instant response. Another timeout for GOATs and Glory. They're grasping for straws. They're trying to figure out how they want to take this.
It's coming down to the wire. Reminder, this is tournament life on the line for GOATs and Glory. If they're able to win this, they can maintain this. They can go into top 4 tomorrow. If they lose this, they drop into that bottom 2 contention.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate stance to be in. It's very scary to be potentially looking at, especially for a team with so much backing. Again, as we said, it's the U.S. Navy esports program getting taken down by a mixed team. Obviously, hey, story is what it is, but when you think about the difference in these two teams, as far as the amount of preparation that they may have, Sussy players being the 3rd version of this roster, only 2 from the last. It's a very, very different type of story that you can talk about. So it's something that needs to be taken into consideration. Fortunately for the side of GOATs, 3 ults on the board, all of those duelist ults, all that can have a really, really big impact, and not that far from either of the others. I didn't even realize that Seawolf and Breakaway only 1 point away from theirs respectively. But on a low buy, gonna need to group up, gonna need to try to play things together. Little Dirk will shoot out the drone, but I don't know if fully expecting the play from U.S. Army. He'll shut down CRN, he'll shut down Ace.
2 ults gone. Yeah. Little Dirk with a hero play. That could just completely end the chances for GOATs and Glory right there.
That might be, in all honesty. Obviously, Quill will still have the Sheriff. He could pick up the rifle at this point, but he doesn't know that, and so he's going to opt to play it safe, play with the lesser weaponry. Let's see,
there's some commotion here, isn't there?
Yeah, he's moving up. He'll get the spot onto 1. Won't be able to get the next onto E-Gunner, but he will be able to get Blackheart and almost able to get out with his life. It's a 2v2 now. Weapons surely in the favor of Sussy.
Not for long, though. GOATs and Glory, I'm sure, are going to be able to grab some rifles here and there. Breakaway has the Phantom, and even though it's still just a Sheriff for Quill right now, both of these players have their ults. So 1 rifle down, still a winnable round.
Yeah, it's still easily doable. Electing
doesn't
to go...
grab a rifle.
Yeah, they're electing to play this more with pace.
Found one.
Instead, Quill going to be able to get that Phantom up, so now they know where both these players are. They know that both are on site. Nobody's trying to play exteriors. It's just going to be that, the flash. So much onto Quill. He's not going to spot KDS in the back. KDS is going to be able to take it. Last one alive. Breakaway able to find the first. Knows about the second, but unable to find it. Maverick closes things out. Sussy players just 2 away from taking it all.
Look at the way they're popping off there. They are feeling themselves. KDS has hit the 26 mark. Big numbers here for the duelist player of Sussy players.
I mean, with the way he's playing, he breaks 30 by the end of this map. Like,
potentially, yeah, he needs to just get 2 per round at this point. And Goats and Glory, they're shotgunning.
yeah, forced onto those low buys. Again, electing to try to win this out here, not wanting to go to OT.
First flash will slow them down a little bit. Manage to, undo the value that Stimby can kind of grab for them. Annihilation. Does it actually hit one? Yes. Overall strike. Little Dirk is gone.
Yeah, it captures CRN in the back. Seawolf, though, able to get it. Gonna have to waste a lot of ammunition on this. And during all of that commotion, 3 of these players rotated over. It is gonna be the hit. Quill able to find the first onto E-Gunner, electing to move back. The use of the Nightfall will come through. Blackheart is able to find one, and he knows where second is. Quill gets the pick. Blackheart will actually, he'll be able to find the third. CRN finds it.
Well, Blackheart has had such good spray control here, Emily. Consistently, I see a shot where I'm just like, okay, I wouldn't be able to hit that. And then crazy performance here from Seawolf, keeping themselves alive in things.
Yeah, it keeps things competitive. Not letting Sussy run away with it, forcing them still to play on their terms. But here's the issue when you look at that econ, still after that win, unable to buy. But on the side of Sussy, it is smooth sailing. Full guns, full armor. I'd be hard pressed to assume that they don't have near full utility. But on that side of Goats, Judge coming through might be lacking on that on the extracurriculars.
I mean, they were last round, and they played it very, very well. Needs to be more of the same here if they want to win this one out. A lot of presence on A. A lot of presence towards A.
Yeah. All three duelists from the Goat side sitting on this A site. And Sussy, they've got 4 of their own postured towards. No ults to name of on the board. Might be close to 1 or 2, but it won't come into play until the round commences. Lil Durk makes the first bit of noise on that. Hookah is going to get the response fire back from Seawolf. But as all of that is happening, utility coming out onto the A site. KDS, he's able to find Ace, and he's able to get his ult up. Finds the second onto Quill. Need to stall any sort of movement.
That deadlock wall did not last very long at all. Breakaway looking for the sheriff kill, or the judge kill rather. Able to find it. E-Gunner removed. It's a 3v4 on site right now, but the plant went through. Goats and Glory need to play this one stellar if they want to win this round out.
Yeah, they really need to bring it together. Maverick in this position will get caught up by CRN. CRN actually also able to find the second. Blackheart down. Ooh, and CRN slowed. That's KDS with a third. Not able to find the fourth. Seawolf tagged, and CRN able to get it. Goats and Glory, they stabilize the bleeding. They bring it within 1. And now Sussy, I mean, they're going to be put down onto a weird buy here. We need to see something stellar from the players.
I kind of want to see them not buy. I'm fine with seeing Maverick buy here. Simply put, because there's 2,900 credits in the bank. But yeah, they're going for a light buy. They're going for something small and simple, so then they will likely have credits for the next round. They're playing to give this one away. I respect that. That's kind of the decision I would make as well. Goats and Glory finally have enough on the line to go for a full buy themselves here. And look at the Sussy players. They're going for a B hit. I don't remember the last time they started B.
It's been a long time. Another big thing to note, any damage Sussy players can do is good. Goats, largest amount that they had in that bank account, I think like 1,300. Goats, they have all of the weaponry needed to do something magical here. He's going to get the spot onto Maverick. Utility is going to go in, is going to get the tether nade. Hitting Seawolf so low, but he's able to find the pick onto KDS. Breakaway will find one, but Maverick with the trade. Looking for more. Should be able to get a bomb plant down. Blackheart sticking it through. Does go in. And now if
timer's set.
Yeah. All 3 duelists going to be coming in from that CT area. Breakaway, the only one contesting this long. Sussy is kind of trapped into this position. Now they know about that. Lil Durk, he's able to respond back, able to get damage, finds the pick onto Ace, but Quill, he's able to respond. Lil Durk, last man alive. Unable to find any more. 2 important picks. But Goats, they'll be able to stabilize. I believe bring this one even. Yeah.
Yeah. Bring it to even 11 to 11, and that damage you were talking about earlier, the economy is not great here, and Goats and Glory, they're struggling to feel themselves right now. They're still sweating. Just both teams here, I'm sure, drenched in this stuff.
Yeah,
CDS 1 kill off that 30 you were calling earlier, and everybody on the field has a rifle.
Full rifles, full shields. This round could not be more important. If Goats are to win it, Sussy working with next to nothing, pennies and pocket lint to get them through to the final round to force OT. If Sussy able to win it, Goats could be forced onto something weird. Quill would be made. Get a little damage onto KDS. Actually, I think a lot more than they would have liked. But the tether onto Quill, they know where one is.
Face your fear!
The explosion. Egunner gets in, gets dropped by Ace though, and Ace instantly able to get out.
They're still committing to the site. They lost one player and they still want to commit. I'm curious about this decision from them, but it's too far gone now. They can't not do it as Maverick taps the plant but doesn't commit.
Yeah, trying to bait out any sort of util. CRN, I didn't even realize in all the fray, he's dropped so low. Lil Durk will get the pick onto Breakaway. That was one of the healthier players. Goats now, they're down, but they're actually going to equalize it. Seawolf with the pick.
What a disgusting kill there from Seawolf.
Yeah. Quill playing with this idea of the swing. They now know where he is. The movement from Lil Durk will get dropped, but Maverick finds the response. And now both these players left for Goats. Dropped low, 60 and in the red. CRN, last man up, 19 HP. He can do it, but it is going to be a struggle. And Sussy, they don't want to let it go. Maverick gets the pick. It's one more round for Sussy to take this round, cement themselves into Sunday.
And a reminder, just one more reminder. If Sussy players win this round, they are guaranteed in tomorrow. If Goats and Glory win the overtime situation that they've put themselves in, they enter tomorrow. There is a weird, disjointed buy. There's an Op with no shield. There's a Bucky with heavy armor and a Judge with regen shields.
It is all over the place for the side of Goats. But for the side of Sussy, decent armors, but scattered rifles here and there. Obviously, Egunner onto that Guardian. Wouldn't be surprised if more. He's just a little out of place for the side of Goats, though. I think they've read this. 4 players on that A site. You have to be sitting on that orbital bombardment or that orbital laser if you are Seawolf looking to stall out any sort of plant. The Season 8 comes in to clear close bench. Nothing seen. They can expect all of them to be back site. Breakaway's going to get the pick onto Lil Durk. That's the lurk. But it's going to force Seawolf to rotate over. Goats could do this if they decide just to hit now.
As of now, they don't know where the sky is and they don't know where the brimstone is. Those are the 2 players unknowns for Goats and Glory right now. They saw 1 on B and 2 on A. That's it.
Yeah, now they've seen Quill. They know where one's here. And the commitment from Quill's all... He's going to be able to find Maverick. Forces the 3v5. Sussy. They're a ways away from taking this. But now...
They're all taking the TP.
Yeah, we're hearing some of those TPs. It's going to come into Hookah. It's going to stall out the rotate. 15 seconds left. It's not looking likely Quill will find that pick. And unless miracles come from the Sussy players, we will be moving into OT. It is Egunner to get that first pick. KDS trying to play goal line defense and be able to find it. Finds a second. Sussy have made this all the more doable. Ace now with that one, but Egunner has to put on an impression piece here. Won't be able to cross. Goats force the OT. It's win 2 and you're in.
The irony there at the last second, they had the orbital strike, they had the incendiary. If they had waited just a moment, that last player, if they had managed to wait, if he had managed to just wait with that incendiary, play for cover, play for slow, there's a chance there. But now, one small slip up at the waning moment, you can pretend to ignore all the slip ups beforehand, have put us in overtime, have put us back to everyone with full rifles, full chances.
Yeah, Sussy returning back to that defense. It's the side where they saw them, relatively speaking, flounder, able to get some work here and there, but the side of Goats overall more efficient on their usage. But now, Sussy, they need to step up. They need to bring it across the line.
Scout destroyed.
No players risking their heads quite yet. Breakaway the riskiest so far, and there we go. So much damage. It's scary, that one.
Yeah, he gets the spot onto E-Gunner, able to do a little bit with it. And that flash is going to notify. Unfortunately, the grab net only hitting Maverick, so that's going to be on cooldown for a very long time. The side of Goats, not really committing to anything right now. Just looking spread, looking to see what they can find. Less than a minute on the clock, as they now need to start deciding what their final play is going to be.
The timing there as Ace swings around that corner right when Lil Durk fades away from it. These players are in perfect sync with each other, and a gunfight almost begins, but it ends just as fast.
Yeah, Ace able to get out, but Little Durk and Blackheart, they're able to combine for a big 2. Little Durk, he's moved into this cubby position. He finds the pick. Bomb dropped. Maverick finds it as well. CRN, a 1v4 forced. If he wants to keep his team, well, if he wants to give his team the advantage in this OT, and there's just shots coming from left, right, center, all everywhere that you look. It's the drop. Sussy now 1 round away from taking this and cementing themselves into the top 4 that we will be playing out tomorrow.
33 kills now for KDS. Has passed that threshold you were talking about before. And despite how close this has been, it's important to note how far ahead Sussy players are on the kills overall. Nobody is positive, despite how close things have been. Goats and Glory, the rounds they win have been tight. The rounds Sussy players have won have been strong performances. And that's where this KD is really coming from.
Yeah, and we're already seeing a little bit of a shift up in those buys. Breakaway going back for that op to hold that B-long angle. No one going to be challenging it, though. No one looking to give him the gift of just a free pick. And already the season 8 coming out. I will spot. They know a multitude on this side, but KDS could be looking for some sort of movements here. The Molly from... The Molly coming out. Breakaway able to find one, but E-Gunner gets the response.
The plant, it's on A. It's on B, rather. They're distracting long enough here on A to keep things attention. KDS keeps Quill there for just a moment longer, but doesn't win the duel. And now there's 3 players on site for Sussy players. Meanwhile, Goats and Glory, they're slowly reconvening, and they will have an advantage, but that advantage evaporates at the hands of Blackheart.
Yeah, it's so tight. Now Goats and Glory needing to mount that final offensive in Little Durk. He's found the perfect timing, able to find one. Ace gets the response, and now they're on the bomb. Maverick and Blackheart both from this long position, and I think they've sussed it out, but Ace, all that's left, a 2K required to keep things in. Time growing so low. Maverick will drop, and Blackheart, he's unknown. He gets the sight out. It doesn't matter anymore. The mixed team does it, qualifying to day number 2 of Double Duel in fascinating and not flawless. They scraped and scrapped their way through it, but they made it. And in the end, they have the opportunity, they have earned it to represent themselves tomorrow.
It does not get closer than that, Emily. 12-14 at the waning moments. Despite the fact that arguably Goats and Glory had the better clutch gene, in those previous rounds, once OT hit, the clutch genes have started to fade, and it started to transfer over to the pickup team.
Yeah, once you get into the points where it's just so mixy, it's hard to contest. Born and bred in the fires of ranked play, this group of 5 consolidate once more upon the Columbus Game Arena and emerge victorious in a match determining their qualification to day number 2 of Double Duel. And we're currently figuring it out if we're going to be able to get one of them on the mic with us to take us through not only just that game, but the whole day of matches. And what a day it has been. Sussy players 3-2 in the mix with Manchester and Ohio Northern, 2 of our biggest reps from Gleck coming out, and Sussy players, the mixed team, able to step up and prove that they deserve their place in this bracket.
And I'm happy it went out this way, I have to admit. The top 4 is very solidified. You have the 3 teams vying for that second place in Ohio State, who has had close games, I think, against 2 of the 3 teams directly below them, right? When you look at the scorelines that they've had, they went 6-13 against Manchester, won that one. They against Ohio Northern, it was 10-13, won that one. Against Scarlet, or against Sussy players rather, 8-13, won that one. It's been fairly close each time against Ohio State. All 3 of these players, or all 3 of these teams rather, have had fairly close games, and they just trade wins on each other. This is a beautiful way for this bracket to work out.
Yeah, they've been able to really put numbers up, and I mean, it's definitely shown so far. As always, not quite in the room yet, but we will be getting an interview with one of the players from Sussy Players V3. And I mean, I'm waiting for the big man to step into the room, but I mean, if production is telling me, I'm excited to get him in here in the mic, you know, and talk with him. Yeah. Welcome in, man.
Hello.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. Throw that headset on. Get it on, man. Yeah.
Missed the water with my mouth here.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, it happens. Joined here by KDS. So first of all, congratulations on making it to Sunday.
Thank you.
It was a fun match to watch, man. I think
it was a lot of fun to play.
Easily our funnest of the day. So first of all, I mean, I just got to ask about how the day in general went. Obviously, going 3-2, able to take the win over Ohio Wesleyan. We just saw you taking it over Goats and Glory, but also getting that win over Ohio Northern, you know? Yeah. Tell me about that match.
You know, we weren't too confident with the way we were playing, but our attitudes kind of changed after 2 losses in a row. Realized, you know, it's not a free entry into Sunday, and so the vibes were good, and we were playing like how we wanted to play.
Able to bring it back. That's good to hear. And obviously on that last map, you know, taking it into OT, having to square it out in the end. Obviously that 14-12, but you yourself putting up big numbers. I don't remember the exact numbers at the end. I know it was easily over 30.
33. I think it was 34 in the end. 33?
I'll take 34.
Hey, listen, man.
No, 33. 33.
Is that something where it's just like you get into the match and there's just something that clicks and you're like, oh, I'm feeling it, I'm just frying? Or is it like a...
Yeah, I told the team when I'm on Rays, I feel like a little birdie that's been uncaged. And I was doing that with my Bucky. But, I mean, props to them. They made it easy. They were setting me up. And, yeah, I love Rays.
Now, what I'm going to ask you, after today's performance, you know, going into things I think that most people, I guess including you guys, anticipated you to lose to Ohio Northern. With that win over them, if you were able, I think that puts you, if I'm not mistaken, at the 3rd seed, which would put you up against, again, Ohio Northern. If not, it puts you at the 4th seed against Ohio State. Do you have plans on how you are going to deal with those 2 teams? I know that you guys are a pickup team pretty much, so...
Yeah, we played them. We beat them already, so we know we can. And obviously we didn't beat Ohio State, but we know we're capable of beating everyone here. Just got to get the vibes right. Do a little VOD review tonight. But it'll come together tomorrow.
Yeah, you guys got faith in the process?
Oh, yeah. You have to.
That's great to hear. And I mean, what I think is super interesting with this LAN so far is on the side of Marvel Rivals, we had another one of our mixed teams stepping up, also making it to Sunday. So we've got 2 teams stepping up, making it to top 4. You know, bringing the heat to some of these collegiate teams. How does it feel to be taking down these teams that, you know, they have funding, they're sponsored by, you know, these big organizations, and just a group of pals able to give them hell, take them down in some cases.
Yeah, we're here for the love of the game. You know, not about the scholarship, although that is great to have. Can't complain about that. I forgot the question, but
I mean,
I don't know.
I was to say, how does it feel to take down teams like this? You know,
it feels good. Not to brag. Oh yeah, I was gonna say not to brag, but we are back-to-back LAN champs here. So I have to throw that out. Got to defend our title.
Going for the 3-peat?
Exactly.
I see.
Yep. So we're confident against any team.
Yeah, that's great to hear. That's great to hear. Got anything else from outside?
Yeah, I will ask you real quick. I'm sorry. So the other team that you guys lost to, is Manchester. That was a 13-6 scoreline. I want to get your thoughts. What do you think was going on in that match in particular?
Like I've said a few times now, the vibes were not right after that first loss. We're a little upset at each other and ourselves because, like I said, we're nowhere capable of beating them. I mean, we just got to come in with the right mindset, the right vibes. The comms were low after that last loss, and then we just rolled it over again. Bad vibes, bad comms, but it'll be a different day tomorrow. It will be. It'll be Sunday.
A different day tomorrow. Yeah. Any final words? I saw we had a little bit of a cheering section for you here in the Twitch chat. You know,
shout out Joe Shamson. He came in, needed that energy from Sham. He's a goat. Thanks for everyone watching, supporting. Seabass, can't forget him. Like he said, easy 30 piece. It wasn't easy though.
Hey, it wasn't easy, but I mean, listen, man, I'm going to be honest. Some of those rounds we were watching, it certainly looked like it. Like you were putting numbers up out there. Any final questions from outside the booth?
Nope.
I was going to say, take that as a no. As always, thank you for stepping into the booth.
Yeah,
great to
appreciate it.
Yeah, great to hear from you. Excited to see what you guys are able to put up tomorrow.
Thank you.
Yeah. All righty.
Moving on
thank you
from
so
that
much,
excellent interview there. What a great day of esports, really. You know what I mean, Emily? Just in general, great esports.
What a great day overall. Cool things to see as things come out, and we are going to see that final bracket draw for us here on the side screen. Shout outs to production. Sussy players, they talk big game. It's time for them to prove it. Stepping up, taking on #1 seed Ohio State Scarlet. On the other side of that, Manchester ONU. So a little bit of a Gleck match on one side. On the other side, the mixed team stepping up, trying to take down probably the biggest head that we have in the venue. I'm excited for the entirety of tomorrow. We got those games coming up. We got the Rivals bracket as well. Scholars of the Game trying to keep things rolling up against Ohio Northern, who have proven themselves to be a formidable opponent. Shawnee State in lowers, but still looking to bring it back, claw it back to the top. I'm excited just for an entire day of great esports.
Yeah, and for me personally, looking at how these brackets are working out, I can see this being a double dub for Ohio Northern personally. The way that things are set up, they're in winner's side for Marvel Rivals. They're here in the 3rd seed. I think that they beat Manchester today. If they can beat Manchester tomorrow, it's up to if they can lock in against Ohio State or Sussy players, whichever one makes it towards the end.
Yeah, it'll be truly interesting day of esports throughout the entire thing. But I think that's going to be all the time that we have for you all today. Thank you all for tuning in, whether it was for Rivals or for Val or for both. Maybe you're just here for the casters. I don't blame you. It is what it is sometimes. But no, it's been a pleasure to bring you all of these games so far. Hilda, you got any final words for the people on the broadcast, the people catching up? Nothing to say? You all done? That's honestly... same here. It's been a long day. Glad to bring all this esports to you. We'll be back tomorrow, 10 a.m., bringing you more Rivals and Val. We'll see you there.